Welcome to the Choristers. Welcome to the Choristers Lounge. Welcome to the Choristers Lounge. Come on in and sit on down. Listen as we break it down. From hymns above to songs I knew, sharing the things important to you. Come on in and sit on down. Listen as we break it down. Choristers at the Choristers Lounge.
Hello again, YouTube audience, and welcome to another episode of the Choristers Lounge. My name is Matthew Caldwell, and pleased to be your host here. We are back in session here in the Choristers Lounge, and we are moving right along here throughout season 2. We've had some wonderful episodes to this point, and I'm certainly hopeful that today's episode will be just more of the same. Just want to thank you all for continuing to be part of this journey with us through the second season of the Choristers Lounge. Of course, we're joined here by Brother Blake Housen, who is the engine that kind of keeps this whole thing running. And just want to thank you all just for continuing to like, share, and subscribe to various social media platforms that we have. Certainly want to ask that you continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are growing as a community, and we're just asking those of you that maybe are watching this episode and have not taken the opportunity to subscribe to the channel to do just that. Thank you for those that have done that. And those of you that have, just tell a friend, right? Share the good news and glad tidings and joy of everything that we're doing here in the Choristers Lounge. If you're listening to us by way of podcast, we thank you for just giving us your listening ear, whether you're traveling on the road or just about the household chores or things like that. Just thank you for however it is that you're supporting the Choristers Lounge. Today, I am honored, pleased to welcome into the lounge a man who represents so much history here within the congregation, within the choir. A man who's been on the wall a long time, hasn't got tired yet, and just has a certain exuberance and youthful energy that just has always been kind of his staple. Earlier on this season, we had an episode with Brother Charles Durham, and he mentioned, some of the individuals who played an instrumental part kind of in his development. And one of those individuals we're going to interview today, and that is none other than Chief Singer, Brother Cecil Mainor, who also happens to be the General Choir Superintendent. So, Brother Cecil, it is a pleasure and honor to welcome you into the Choristers Lounge today, sir. Welcome, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I think that the best place to start, and we always just kind of like to kind of start as close to the beginning as possible, but I just kind of wanted to get your experience there growing up in the Jacksonville Tabernacle. Maybe some of the individuals in the Tabernacle who really left an imprint on you, whether it was individuals in the choir or just individuals that were there in the Tabernacle. So when you think about your time there in Jacksonville, kind of what comes to mind?
Well, I'm glad you asked that, and I want to thank you for having me participate in this dynamic
Absolutely.
historical event. Well, one thing about our local pastor, Elder Cecil Eves, he really patterned his ministry after the first course of the Church of God in Saints of Christ, which was Bishop William H. Plummer. That means there was no lazy bees in the hive.
Yes, sir.
Everyone had to participate. And when I say participate, singing, I think Ella Denson and I have a joke that I think we've held every office but Mother Sarah. Because in the training in Jacksonville, you were shepherd one week, you were courser the next week, and the training was very intense. And it started off, I can remember being in the big choir as young as 4 years old because you participated. Well, you were there from 9 to to dusk to dark,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
So
sir.
the training, and we always had youth participation, but those people who had gone on before us, Rabbi John Eves, Brother Emmanuel Eves, Brother Samuel Eves, always, trained you on the way. But I had a cousin that didn't come this way until later on. Well, he came back later on, and he sang rhythm and blues. That was Enoch Jones.
Mm-hmm.
So I had both mixtures of that training and development. And I started out singing with and a lot of times to make it interested for children, Elder Eves would have family compete.
Okay.
The Densons had four siblings. Lyndon Brender they were twins, but Flora and I started out and we changed the mode a little bit. We did opera.
Okay.
So it was Flora and myself, till she just outblew me, you know. But we sang all of the time. We sang as a group. We sang individually.
Well, the old ships are making up alone to start. Come on in, come on in. Well, don't take nothing but a few heart. Well, the old ships are making up alone to start. Come on in, come on in. Well, don't take nothing but a few heart.
And the training was so intense. At the time, you had morning service and evening service. So you got a time to rehearse and to perform.
Mm-hmm.
We were fortunate to have the Southern District Chorister visit our tabernacle quite regularly. That was under Brother Earl Williams.
Yes, sir.
And he just didn't come for a weekend. He came for the entire Holy Convocation, or he would come for 2 weeks and work with the choir. So we had multiple sessions. We were fortunate later on to have Brother Jacob Bukout and Ella Thomas Stevenson come together.
Mm.
And they spend the entire Thanksgiving weekend with us. So the training was very intense. So the foundation was laid at a very young age.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I wanted to just kind of circle back to that, those last group of individuals that you mentioned. So I know, and those of you YouTube audience, we were pleased to put on in our first season a tribute episode to Brother Earl Williams. And I know that you saw that episode, Brother Cecil. So I didn't know if there was anything additional that you wanted to add from your experience specifically with Brother Earl, that you thought, the audience may want to just be aware of that we may not have covered in that episode. Anything else that you thought that we might wanted to add
Well,
to that?
one thing about Brother Earl Williams, there was no part of the service that he wouldn't teach.
Mm.
He would teach if he heard you struggling with a verse, and he would teach at any given time. And the opportunity to stay more than a weekend made such a difference because he was able to share with you
Yeah,
some of the fundamentals of the choir, and his longevity with us made a difference in that presentation.
yes, sir.
And he was available when you came to the gathering, so if you had any other questions, he would definitely be available for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, as far as you mentioned, like the cross training that you experienced there in Jacksonville, what official offices did you hold while you were in Jacksonville? I understand you may have started, as a shepherd and kind of worked your way up there, but what offices, official offices, did you hold in the
Well,
Jacksonville
I
Tabernacle?
did start out as a shepherd, and then moved to Chorister.
All right, so that takes me to my staple question. So we kind of know the where. So you were appointed a chorister there in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes,
When and by whom were you appointed a chorister?
by Elder Cecil R. Eves, the overseer.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And approximately what year would you say, or how old were you roughly?
Maybe about 16 or 17.
Oh, that's all right. So you've only been a
Yeah.
chorister for about 5 years,
Yeah.
no. But that just speaks to the amount
Yes.
of longevity that you have, as far as being a choir member and just the overall just years of service, a faithful service that you've had. So kind of as you're getting older, at some point, you matriculate up a couple of hours up to Virginia. So just talk to me a little bit about your transition and actually, the training that you had in Jacksonville. Let me ask you this way: the training that you had in Jacksonville, how did that translate over to your transition to Belleville?
It's very interesting that you say that, because I said Elder Ease had a institution of training. He cross trained you to do things from different parts of the congregation. So even in the choir, there were multiple opportunities. In the YPIL, there were multiple opportunities. But in the when before he was the elder there, he was brought to Belleville by evangelist John H. Monroe, who was the overseer. And evangelist John H. Monroe brought two people. He brought Elder Cecil Eves to scribe and to write everything that Bishop William H. Plummer spoke about. And he brought a sister named St. Rebecca Black to bring the Belleville sound back to Jacksonville.
Hmm.
And in the neighborhood was called the Paramount of the community. And there were four sisters, and they alternated in and out. And the Paramount Four, which my mother was a part of, had that tight harmony
Yes, sir.
that was displayed in Belleville by quartets.
Yeah.
I think Brother Matthew and Mark Hill and that group,
Mhm.
because it was in the 30s that they came. So they brought the sound back to Belleville, and from a quartet, it multiplied throughout the congregation.
Yes, and real quick,
So
Chief, real quick, Chief, just for the sake of the young people. So you say the Paramount
yes,
Four. You called your mother. What are the names of the Paramount Four?
the Paramount Four was Sister Elder Lydia Gaynor,
Mhm.
Saint Abigail Eves Jones,
Mhm.
Saint Naomi Cousins, Saint Rebecca Collins, and sometimes people interchange, but that tight sound
Yeah.
was from those sisters that Saint Rebecca was able to train them,
Mhm.
and we as young people could play with harmony, but we could not touch them.
Hmm.
And their season was such an enlightening experience, and to be around them
Yeah.
was very valuable because they brought something from the 30s to the 70s.
Yeah.
and they treasured it. And so Elder Ease was so particular that he wanted the Belleville sound to be in Jacksonville.
Yes, sir. And I know YouTube audience, we've heard that name, Saint Rebecca Black, before. You know, she's the composer of "Woe to the Bloody City." That
Yes.
we heard a little bit of a taste of at this past the 2025 Singers Day program when the Jacksonville choir and Jacksonville alumni came up and performed that. So that was beautiful. So, you know, kind of as you made your way up to Belleville. Who were some of the outstanding personalities that shaped you, further shaped you when you got to the Belleville Tabernacle and the Belleville Choir?
Well, the Belleville Choir was a very seasoned oil machine that had such an enormous amount of history within itself, and they were always available to share their history.
Mm.
Saint Lillian Brabson, Brother Jas, we call him Jap Brabson.
Yes, sir.
He would explain some things because they were under Bishop William H. Plummer and transitioned into Rabbi Howard Z. Plummer, and Saint Leah Ringwood and Saint Martha Fears and Brother Jacob Bucott and Brother Solomon Carey and Saint Dorothy Wagner. They was always willing to train a developing chorister,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and their embracing and the development of sounds and how they would take a sound from a quartet and mix it. And sometimes that experience was very much enlightening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, Chief. So, in addition to some of your experiences there with the Belleville Choir, I also know that you've had the experience of singing with the Veltones. So, for us younger folks, what can you tell us maybe about the original Veltones, kind of how that group came to be, and kind of how you know, years later ended up becoming a part of singing with the Veltones?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be the son-in-law of Elder James Flippins,
Yes, sir.
and he definitely demanded perfection,
Mm-hmm.
and he was so unique in his baritone that he could slide between a second tenor and a first bass so easily that you didn't even know what was happening. And he said this, he was with several musical groups, one called the Happy Four, which was William Spivey, Nehemiah Irvin, Zephaniah MacDonald, and himself.
Yes, sir.
And then they moved to the Belleville Boys. The Belleville Boys had Brother Solomon Carey, Evangelist Clifton Farrar, Silas Thomas, and Elder Ezra Howard.
Mm-hmm.
And then that group moved to the the Veltones, which started out as the Esquire Boys. So
Yeah.
those groups were tight.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I started singing with them in the 90s when evangelist Clifton Farrar took ill. And if you can imagine their work and this rookie coming in,
Yes, sir.
I had to follow the pattern that they had been singing for 50 years. And the stories that they had, how when Rabbi H.Z. Plummer would have special guests come to the house, he would send for the Veltones as the most last name of the group, and they had to perform for his guests,
Mm.
like various dancers or performers, because during those times, people would stay on the land because we didn't have hotels like we have. So when his guests would come into town, he would have them to perform for the guests after dinner or whatnot. So they really shared the history. They talked about going up to Salisbury, Maryland on a regular basis to perform, where Brother Parker had a connection there. They talked about a lot of the historical things of the community. Um, and when had the pleasure of singing with them, it was definitely a treasure of an experience.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I know there's some recordings out there that from years before that set our soul on fire, and then from recent years that do the same.
Get bold and praise his folks out of base and had his side. Hold on, little lamb home. God's the cry, cause the Lord am on our side. Then the memory people of the kingdom before with the trumpets begin on sound. Oh, Joshua the red and the tongue to shout, and the walls come tumbling down. That morning, Joshua faced the battle around Jericho, Jericho, Jericho. And the walls come tumbling down. I declare it then.
So I'm going to give you three names, Chief, and I want you just give me your experiences with these three names in whatever order. Those names are Elder Thomas Stevenson, Brother Jacob Bukout Sr., and Brother Caleb Garris. The floor is yours. Elder Thomas Stevenson,
Well,
Brother Jacob Bukout Sr., and Brother Caleb Garris.
Elder Thomas Stevenson was just such a master of a musician. Uh, just finesse, ear that was so uncomparable. He came between Brother Jacob Bukat and myself on a song he was visiting one Sabbath and created sounds that one had never heard. And oh, clap your hands.
Mm.
Just melodiously able to blend. And it's not necessarily you have seven people on the same note. You have 7 to 8 people on different notes, and
Yes,
it
sir.
blends. And he was able to master that, as well as such a composer and arranger. He was masterful. And being in Belleville, you heard some of his work even as he had left the area.
Yes, sir.
Brother Jacob Bukow was so thorough. He had a personality you had that you had to grow with. But his Elder Carey talks about the music hall experience. The institution of the music hall lasted years after the music hall did not provide the arena for rehearsals.
Yes, sir.
But the rehearsals was everywhere. The Tabernacle, the music hall, and other places. And Brother Bukow learned so well in that environment and in that institution. And he was so willing to share. Sometimes it wouldn't be in the tabernacle. Sometimes it would be at my home or
Yes, sir.
sometime at his home.
Yes, sir.
But any opportunity he got to train and to share, and you wouldn't be creative to create something of your own thinking. You had to follow his pattern because he was given it to by Elder Judah Plummer and Bishop H.C. Plummer, and he followed that to the T.
Yes, sir.
So sometimes I couldn't air back and forth. Now, it's interesting that you asked about Brother Caleb Garris because people would think that Brother Caleb Garris and I just happened to run into each other. But the situation happened in 1964 when Bishop H.C. Plummer sent a group of singers to Jacksonville to do a funeral service after the Passover. It was St. Minnie Hill, Elder Ezra Howard, St. Sheba Griffin, and Brother Wesley Garris. Elder Denson and I would trade off week after week being shepherd and sitting at the tenor seat. So Elder Denson convinced me that was his week to sit at the shepherd seat.
Yes, sir.
And I had the blessing to sit next to Chief Wesley Garris from 9 o'clock until the sun went down on that Sabbath. And we sang all day. And he shared with me a lot of things. And we created such a bond that he said, I will be looking to see you at the 1965 Passover.
Wow.
The 1965 Passover, I could not find Brother Wesley. But I saw in the yard Brother Caleb Garris bringing him through the yard. And from those years, Brother Wesley started to fade away from his performances. So I had an aunt that lived in Newark, and Brother Garris lived in Newark.
Mm-hmm.
And Brother Garris and I, and Brother Zephaniah and Brother Bo would have sessions after service and doing service, which was really enriching. And then, lo and behold, I moved to Virginia, and Brother Garris was here.
Yes, sir.
And we had a lasting bond. He taught me a lot of tricks of the trade. He shared with me how Rabbi H.Z. Plummer depended on him and how his willingness to turn down other opportunities to serve the church. The Dixie Hummingbirds had bought him an outfit because they had gone to Greensboro and performed with the Troxler brothers. And he said, "Cease, I was on my way."
Yes, sir.
And Bishop A.C. Plummer pulled him back, and other opportunities that he had with his voice. And he said, now he was a robust tenor, and Brother Earl McGuinn was like a silver tenor.
Yes, sir.
So the contrast worked well when they performed out. And there's so many treasured stories that I gained from Brother Garris until the end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I think there was one name that you didn't call. You said you had an aunt that lived in Newark. I think you called her name earlier, but who was the aunt that lived in Newark?
St. Naomi Cousins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So another name, Chief, that I wanted to get your experience with. Tell me a little bit about the late Elder Charles David Plummer, Grand Band Master.
Well, Elder David Plummer was a very instrumental person in my development. See, I was fortunate to live in Jacksonville, Florida, where Rabbi H.Z. Plummer would bring his entourage on his way to Jamaica or anywhere in the South. So Elder Plummer came to Florida quite a bit with his father, and we talked. And then he moved into the position of Grand Band Master. And my movement here to Virginia really shared a bond of closeness. And I treasure those valued conversations we had. People never understood his love and compassion and ability for the music and for God's choir. And one thing he really uh, preached in his time is that let's create a scholarship so that some of these young people who are interested in music can go out and get the training and bring it back to
Mm-hmm.
God's choir.
Yes,
That
sir.
was just such a passion of his that he always wanted to advance the work and advance the musical department.
Mm-hmm.
So I could say more, but I just treasure the experience and the passion that he had for God's choir.
Yes, sir. Just real quick, is there any talk about that scholarship continuing?
That scholarship is active now, and in 2026, we plan to award our first recipient.
Yes, sir. So getting close to the end here, Chief. So it's one thing I did just want to, before I get to kind of your resume, your musical resume within the congregation, just very quickly, what's your professional background?
Our professional background is I matriculated to teach history, and I outgrew the classroom and went into administration. So I had very uh, treasured years
Yes, sir.
working in administration. I worked in Florida, where I'm from, and then I moved to Virginia, worked in two cities, which is Portsmouth as well as Virginia Beach.
Mhm.
I retired as a high school administrator.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like to ask those questions because I like, especially for our young people out there, that there is such a thing as balance that we have to have.
Yes,
And I think it's important to see that we have individuals that give so much of themselves, within the walls of the congregation, but also do well in their professional pursuits also. So
yes, sir.
getting back to kind of your resume within the congregation. So far we have you as a chorister in Belleville. So just what else is on your, and I think some of us know, but just take us through kind of you going from the head chorister, chief singer, some of those other things.
Well, uh, Rabbi Philip McNeil, grandfather Abraham, bestowed upon me the opportunity to embrace a seat that has been vacant since Brother uh, Robert Hurt to be the general
Yes, sir.
superintendent of the choir.
Yes, sir.
I think it's a distinct honor to oversee the business and to take us to new heights and new opportunities within our congregation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I know it was Rabbi Crowdy, Rabbi J. U. August Crowdy Jr., grandfather Abraham, that I think elevated. I think it was Rabbi Crowdy elevated you as the head chorister of the Belleville Choir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Around what year was that roughly? Was it early? I think it was early on in his reign, like around like 2002,
About
three.
2003. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. 2003. Okay. And then it was Rabbi Crowdy that elevated you to chief singer as well.
Yes,
Around
sir.
when that was.
Around 2005, I think. Um,
2005. Yes, sir.
and I remember when Rabbi Crowdy uh, came with the appointment,
Hmm.
he said to me in the public that he was exposing me to the level of Elder Judah Plummer, Elder Preston Jackson,
Mm.
Brother Wesley Garris, and Brother Jap Elam, to know that who followed them was Elder David Plummer and Brother Caleb Garris. So to walk in the shoes of those giants was really an humbling experience, to move into those ranks. One that I would have never imagined,
Yes, sir.
but one I cherish and respect and honor those who have passed on before us.
Sir, and you certainly have done your part to honor their legacies and to add to your own. So that is certainly wonderful history for us to have. And like I said, you represent so much, and you are uniquely qualified to answer this last question that I have for you. Considering your experiences within the congregation and the experience that you've had as an educator, what words of encouragement, words of instruction would you have for this generation of singers and this generation of choristers?
Well, when we talked about Psalms 107,
Yes, sir.
what was that verse that we talked about?
Oh, that men would
Oh,
praise the
that
Lord.
men would praise the Lord
Yes, sir.
for his goodness and his wonderful works unto the children of men. If we could wrap our energy and our activity, oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works unto the children of men. We have something to celebrate. We have something to inspire others. We have something to make a difference in one's life, because everybody may not come and saturate themselves in the spoken word, but oftentimes the musical word and the musical sermon transcends into the soul. Oftentimes we can't remember what was spoken.
Sure.
But if we hear a song from the 60s, 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, or some song that we've heard in our congregation, it gives life, and it gives birth, and it gives rejuvenation to the soul. And as young singers and experienced singers, we have to sing that, oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness, because he's been tremendously good to us.
Yes.
And because of his wonderful works unto the children of men, then we have an obligation to serve that population with the nurture that we can give as singing Levites.
If the word is the clue, you can find the tune Song Association.
All right, YouTube audience, you heard that sound about if the word is the clue, can you find the tune? So we're going to jump right into our song association here. with Brother Cecil. So for those of you that are new to the game, what I'm going to do is I've selected a couple of words that I'm going to share with Brother Cecil and just see what comes out of his musical mind from these words. So just kind of considering Brother Cecil's journey, I've selected some words that I think will kind of take us through some songs either from his childhood or just some songs that relate to some of the groups that he's been a part of. So the first word that I have for you, Chief, if I were to give you the word lifeline, what song comes to mind?
Throw out the lifeline across the dark way. There is a brother that someone should save. Somebody's brother, or who there would take.
Yeah.
So throw out the lifeline away and away. Boom.
Come on now, Chief.
Throw
Yes,
out
sir.
the lifeline. Come on and throw out the lifeline. Someone is sinking today. Oh, throw out,
Come on,
boom,
Chief.
boom, 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 the lifeline. Come on and throw out the lifeline. Oh, someone is drifting away today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, that was great. That was great, Chief. All right, second word. Second word. If I give you the word abide, abide, what song comes to mind?
If there is if you are a witness, boom, boom, let God
Yes,
abide.
sir.
If you've been converted, let God abide. And if you show that you know Him, He will walk by your side. Well, give an answer
Yes, sir.
to every problem. Let God abide. Boom, 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 boom. Within your soul. Within your soul, within your soul, deep down within, He'll hear your call. Yeah. He'll never let you fall. Oh, give an answer to every problem. You let God abide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, 2 for 2. 2 for 2. Couple more, Chief. All right, so if I give you the word calm, 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 or if I give you the word ocean, since you're back there right now.
My God is going to calm the ocean.
Yeah.
Yes, my Lord. He said he's going to calm the raging sea. Yes, he would. Oh, yes, he would. My God is going to calm the
Yeah.
ocean. Yes, my Lord. He said he's going to calm the raging sea.
Come on up there, Chief. Yeah.
Oh, yes, he will. Oh, yes, he would.
Oh, these vocal gymnastics. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right, so I have one more for you. And I think this is going to go back to your Jacksonville days. And this is actually more of a phrase than a word. So if I give you the phrase, wake up, what song comes to mind?
Wake up, wake up, wake up and wash your hands and face. Arise, arise, arise. Get ready for to pray that no evil may come upon you throughout the day. Prophet Crowdy gave us a commandment to pray 3 times a day. It is a commandment to keep you in the way. Also 3 swallows of water to keep your health. It is a perpetual commandment as long as you on the earth. Wake up, wake up, wake up, and wash your hands and face. Arise, arise, arise. Get ready for to pray that no evil may come upon you throughout the
Yes, sir.
day.
Yes, sir. Beautiful, Chief. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So that was a wonderful, wonderful song association there. You knocked it out the park. 4 for 4. 4 for 4. And just to kind of to close this out, I know that you were mentioning that there was a song that had those words that the Jacksonville Tabernacle sang. Can you just give us a little taste of that?
Oh, that men would praise the Lord. Oh, oh, that men would praise the Lord for his goodness and for his wonderful works unto the children of men.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, listen, Chief, I want to thank you so much just for
Yes,
spending a
sir.
little bit of time here with us here in the Choristers Lounge. Like I said, your experience, the information that you shared with us today is invaluable. What you represent, what you continue to represent, and will represent to the congregation and to the choir specifically, is just a beautiful thing to watch and to be a part of. I'm thankful that the Lord allowed us to rub shoulders and to serve at such a time as this. You are one of there are a few individuals that, have a little bit of that spirit of my father that just kind of, it feels comfortable, whenever I have a chance to speak with you. You certainly are one of those individuals. And I know that you two shared a great relationship. So that
Yes,
relationship
sir.
has continued, with myself, with my brothers. So I thank you for that, and just for your words of encouragement to
Yes,
me
sir.
personally throughout the years. Just asking that the good Lord continue to bless and keep you,
Yes,
of
sir.
longevity, and bless your memory, bless your voice, all those things, because we need everything that you offer to us today,
Yes, sir.
in the days to come. And YouTube audience, again, thank you so much for spending a little time with us here in the Choristers Lounge. We're looking forward to welcome you again the next time the Choristers Lounge opens its doors. Continue to like, share, subscribe to the various YouTube channels, or to the YouTube channel, to the various social media mediums that we have. This does not happen without you, and we certainly do not grow without you. So we're looking forward to just your continued support. If you've already subscribed, thank you. If you haven't done so, please do share the good news and glad tidings of joy. And like I said, we look forward to welcome you again the next time the Choristers Lounge opens its doors. God bless and keep you is my prayer.
Thank you for joining us on the Choristers Lounge.
My God is going to come be your son. Yes, my Lord. He said he's going to come. The raging sea, Lord said he would. Lord said he would. Well, if you don't believe I've been redeemed, he said he's going to calm the raging sea. Lord said he would. Lord said he would. Well, just follow me over to the Jordan stream. He said he's going to calm the raging sea. Lord said he would. Lord said he would. Well, the Jordan River is chilly and cold. He said he's going to calm the raging sea. Lord said he would. Lord said he would. Well, it chills my body, but not my soul. He said he's going to calm the raging sea. Lord said he would. Lord said he would. My God is going to calm the ocean. Yes, my Lord, my Lord said he's going to calm the raging sea. Lord said he
Pointing to you.